Welcome to Growing Up Boomer. I'm your host, Padre, with my co-host, Professor. And this podcast is dedicated to the life and times of the baby boomer generation. The show is loosely scripted, and sometimes we'll go down rabbit holes, and where it leads us to, one will never know. This podcast can be informative, funny, and sometimes irreverent. But most of all, we hope you find it entertaining. Hey, Professor, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing wonderful, Padre. How about you?
Oh, man, I cannot complain at all.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Oh, but by the way, before we go on, I have a correction to make.
Oh, no.
I get down in shame.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, let it out.
I was corrected by my lovely wife, Kathy, that when I said red light and green light from our kids' shows with Sheriff John, she reminded me it wasn't Sheriff John. It was Engineer Bill.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So,
okay, well, you stand corrected, and it's a good thing the public knows that you stand up, you take responsibility for your mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, of course. We're talking about your mistakes, or you're talking about the listeners? Okay, anyway. Or both.
Oh, by the way, I got to tell you. Okay, first of all, I know we were discussing this last couple of weeks ago about how the country is divided, especially in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Okay, well, I've got some good news for you.
Give me some good news.
Okay, I got some good news. That there was a bipartisan bill passed in the U.S. Congress. It was Bill S-1582. 200 Republicans voted yay, and 102 Democrats voted yay.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Tell me.
That means that this bill, that Democrats and Republicans both can make money off of it.
Oh, that's probably true.
It was the crypto bill.
But okay, if we're talking the House, then it's probably more Republicans can make money off it, because otherwise there would have been more Democrats that would have voted for it, because it's 217 to 214 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 206 to 102.
Okay.
Yeah, but come on. These guys already know what's going to pass and what's not going to pass.
Okay.
So if there's only two reasons why politicians vote for things. Number one, if they can make money on it.
Okay.
And number two, if they can make votes on it.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. But you are the cynic, so I get it. So wait a second. So what was that vote about? What was the bill about?
The crypto bill vote.
Oh, the crypto bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And I've got, I don't know about the crypto bill. It's like this AI stuff. I don't know. It's kind of crazy stuff, but anyway.
You and I both agree with
We'll
that.
We'll see.
Oh,
Somebody I know wants to take over. Never mind. Probably wants to make crypto the world currency.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and sad news before we get into the podcast. Sad news.
Yeah, there's a couple sad news. There's Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, yeah. Just
not that I didn't really follow him. I wasn't really that much into his music. There was a few songs that were very popular that I know, but he wasn't somebody that I followed. Black Sabbath, I remember, but again, it wasn't a group that I really followed.
Oh, man, I used to love Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had the first 4 albums, but then I got married and had to stop buying albums or whatever.
Of course. You got to buy groceries.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing was that I used to love, to me, they say that Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath is their best album. Now, they made 19 albums. I will have to say that I thought Master of Reality was their best album. Okay. Children of the Grave, Sweet Leaf, Embryo. Oh, I mean, it was just an awesome album. Lord of this world. Like I said, I would listen to that. Remember, we told that story about the kids trying to get a rise out of me with playing Marilyn Manson. And I told them, it ain't that big. I mean, I heard it all before.
Yeah, really.
I turned on the Black Sabbath album. There you go.
There it is, all there.
It's all there.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it's a funny thing too, is that he shared a post hours before he passed away.
Hmm.
He had the post of the old band members together, and they're all still alive. Like Ozzy was the first one to go. I mean, they're all still alive, and it said "Back to the Beginning," the final show.
Hmm.
And so that was, and he was suffering from Parkinson's since 2003.
Yeah, and he put on a show. I mean, he did his final show, what, like a week ago or so, something like that?
About 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, recently.
I mean, but yeah, he was, and I have to say, he was only 76 years old.
I know.
Of course, he looked a little older than that. I mean, he's a fellow baby boomer.
Right.
But yeah, he was. I credit his wife for his longevity.
Okay.
Because he was quite the Keith Richards type.
Oh, he was very much into ingesting and doing all sorts of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember watching a documentary on Black Sabbath,
mm-hmm.
and he was always quitting the band. He was always quitting the band, and they said one time they were trying to figure out what they were going to do. They had rented this old castle for a recording studio to get away from everybody, and Ozzy Osbourne just, "That's it, I've had it," and left. They're trying to figure out what are we going to do? What are we going to do? A couple
mm-hmm.
of days later, they hear a gunshot go off on the front lawn, and they go, "Oh, Ozzy's back."
Okay.
Yeah, an interesting cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, what do you say we get into our podcast?
All right. Well, let's do it.
All righty. We want to talk about events that us 60 kids or baby boomers, and I say 60s because you and I were old enough to realize what was going on.
In the 50s,
baby boomers like my sister-in-law. She's a baby boomer, but she was a mere child when all of this stuff was happening.
Right. Yeah.
And so the first one by far has to be Watching American Bandstand.
Okay, now it's interesting because the title is events, and that's not really an event; it's a show, but kind of, sorta, it's an event. And I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I watched it all the time. I enjoyed getting home to look at it and watch it. He discovered Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Sonny and Cher, Tina Turner, and also. But I guess, and I'm not sure if this is where I learned it. It's possible, but the twist and the mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And I remember, let's see, I was probably about 8, 9, maybe, something like that. And I went to a dance with a girl. I don't remember who it was. I think she might have invited me to it or something. And we won the Tryst contest. So there you go. So I have that in my resume, winning a Tryst contest. And I could do the mashed potatoes. I could probably even still do it now. But I wouldn't do it for long because I'd probably fall over. But anyway, it was a good show. And that was quite a while.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably the only white man that can dance.
Oh, well, okay. Now, it depends on who is doing the observing. My wife thinks I dance like a chicken. So there you go.
No, I don't ever get on the dance floor, ever.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh, no.
Actually, dancing is fun.
What I'm missing.
Dancing is fun.
Yeah.
You
ever watch that Seinfeld where, what's her name, is dancing and everybody's going like, what in the world is she doing?
I think I've seen that, but she was really letting loose. Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the other shows as well?
Like?
Shindig?
I remember Shindig.
Honolulu?
I remember them. Yep. I wasn't into heavy, but the what?
Where the action is?
It rings a bell, but I didn't watch that one. The other two, I've seen some episodes.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think these next two are local. And I remember watching Hollywood A Go-Go.
Wow.
I think that was a local.
I remember that, Hollywood A Go-Go.
Oh, okay. Then it wasn't. Okay. I just wondering, I thought it may have been a local. And then there was 9th Street West.
I never saw that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was good. But one that didn't happen in the 60s that has left a staple like American Bandstand is Soul Train.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that started in 1971, but that ran all the way to 2006.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched Soul Train.
Oh, golly.
Yeah. We were watching other stuff. There's other thing. It wasn't the only show on TV.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but not Soul Train. Come on. Oh, that was an awesome one. My mom would watch that.
Okay. Got it.
Loved
Yeah, I don't
dancing.
remember Soul Train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, it was so popular that Tim Burton used it in Beetlejuice 2.
Which I have not seen. Okay. I did go back and watch Beetlejuice. I haven't seen 2 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So but American Bandstand, that was a good show. Again, it wasn't really an event, but it was kind of like an event because it was on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
From like
Until
52
89.
in one version, 52 to 89,
Yeah.
as far as that's concerned. So,
Oh, yeah.
but an event that I'm trying to think of, if I remember when we got the introduction of the color TV. Now that
Yeah.
was an event. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely an event. And because I think some of the early shows were like Star Trek, Batman, and I remember Star Trek because it came out in 1966, the fall of '66, because I was a freshman in college at that point. I remember watching it in the TV room in the dorm, and that was great. And but yeah, color TV. I'm trying to remember when we got our first color TV, and I have no idea when it was at all.
Yeah.
But you know what took a hit? Drive-in theaters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shoot, there was like, 6,000 in the 1950s.
Yeah, there's a lot.
After color TV became popular, it was down to 3,500.
Yeah, I believe it.
Over 3,500. I mean, and walk-ins, the same thing. You know what? Color TV did to drive-ins what TV, just TV, black and white TV, did to baseball. Remember when TV came out and they started broadcasting the games? The attendance in baseball games just went.
Oh, it dropped like crazy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think the first color broadcast was in 1951. And I think in 54, I think NBC broadcast the first coast-to-coast coverage of the Rose Bowl parade. And that was oh my God. Okay. Never mind. I just spilled water. Everybody,
I knew you did.
Everybody just spilled water. There you go. It is what it is. So anyway.
Well, let's move on. You remember Barbie dolls was a big event.
Barbie dolls was a big deal. They came out, like 1959, I think it was?
You were absolutely right.
Yeah, 59 and 60s. I mean, everybody was playing with those things in the 60s. It sold like 300,000 in the first year. That's a lot. 300,000. Let's see. I think at that point it was like $3 a doll. So that's 900,000. So that's not too bad.
Oh yeah, especially back then.
Right. And now I think the average, depending on the add-ons and whatever, is like $14 and $19. But very, very, very popular. No doubt about it.
Based on
something else on that?
Based on a lady of the night from a German cartoon strip.
That I did not know. That is very interesting.
Yeah. If you look at the cartoon strip, you could see the resemblance of the two.
Got it.
So.
Okay, so events though. Now I remember hearing about this. I was 11. U2 incident.
Yes.
And I do remember hearing about that. What's that? And not the band. No. We're talking about the spy plane with Francis Gary Powers up there, and who was shot down over Russia, and that just definitely escalated the Cold War and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I think there was a summit that was planned, and that got canceled, and that was, I guess, between Soviet Union, Britain, and France, and us, and got canceled. And that's, I mean, I remember, hearing about that. And of course, that was the Cold War. We talked a little bit about this, I think, last week, about the duck and cover drills and so on and so forth. So that was kind of the time frame from that. But, interesting, just as an aside, because we're doing events of the 60s, I'm just about ready to finish. It's a really thick book. It's about like that. And it's the New Yorker magazine in the 60s. And so it was all of their articles. So it talked about events and fiction and films, and personalities and all sorts of things. And some of the stuff is covered by articles in what we're covering today. So in more depth, but yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that was an interesting event.
to you too?
Yeah, you too. But it wasn't supposed to happen. And
Well,
the reason why I say it wasn't supposed to happen was because somebody gave the president, the head of the CIA gave the president erroneous information that the Russians didn't have anything that could bring down a U-2 plane,
right.
because they wanted that information so bad. And so Eisenhower was kind of leery about
Mm-hmm.
sending it,
Mm-hmm.
and it ended up very bad.
Mm-hmm.
They did shoot it down.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, so 61 was the Bay of Pigs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was, Bay of Pigs. It's not a Disney movie. And it's still part of the Cold War. And that was an invasion by the CIA. Actually, CIA trained forces, Cuban exiles.
Yes.
Okay, that's what they did. They trained them, and they wanted to overthrow Fidel Castro. And it provoked a lot of anti-U.S. demonstrations and all over Latin America, Europe, everything.
Oh,
And what happened was, I guess in April of 61, the CIA backed operation. I guess they sent in like a 1,400 man strong brigade of the exiles landing at Bay of Pigs, and they were trying to spark an uprising against Castro. Didn't work.
no.
So, and another little aside, that was in 61. So it must have been 59 or 58. I know my mother took me to Cuba. We actually went down to Cuba, and I remember being in Havana, and going through and seeing all the sugarcane fields and stuff like. And I remember the colorful cars. You see pictures of Cuba today; it's just like it was then. Okay, it's quite amazing in a lot of ways. I mean, the cars and the colors and everything else. So, yeah, we got in there before Castro.
I was going to say, you got in just before the revolution. Huh?
Okay, just before the revolution. Yeah, got in there just prior to. It wasn't long after. It had to be within the 2 years.
Yeah.
So Bay of Pigs. So yep.
Oh yeah, that was.
Now Eisenhower's the one that planned for it.
That is correct.
Okay, but Kennedy's the one that set it in motion.
Yeah. And then what they made the mistake of is they didn't give them any backup.
Right.
In other words, they planted like how the Japanese fought World War II. In other words, they send their guys out there. You're in the Philippines, son. You're on your own.
Okay.
That's basically what they did.
We'll either see you or we won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how about speaking of the communists, Russia? How about the construction of the Berlin Wall?
Yeah, boy, was that a big deal. That was in 61 also. There's a lot going on then.
Oh,
early 60s, a lot of stuff. I mean, it didn't start right after the fall of Germany. It started, it basically, that's what was as of a result of the Cold War. That's when it got built, and it divided East Germany, and it was there for decades. And
Berlin,
Berlin,
because West Berlin is in the middle of East Germany, just about.
Right. I said Germany, but you're right, Berlin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that was something that you heard about all the time, and you'd see pictures and so on, and it was Yep.
Oh,
now one.
Have you seen the movie by Guy Ritchie called The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I watched the show. I love the show, the series.
He did a remake.
Did we watch the movie Man from U.N.C.L.E.? I don't remember.
Well,
something else you might have.
Yeah, the opening scene has to deal with the Berlin Wall. You can actually get, when it was completed, you can actually see how it was. Because they have that real big gap. They had like two walls. They had a big gap. You had to get across that gap.
Right. They did. Yeah. Something. I'm starting to form some images of something like a gap. So I might have seen that. Yeah, possibly. So
it's kind of like they built the wall to keep people in.
Right. That's what they did. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, why don't you take the next one, because I know it's close. It's near and dear to
okay. I mean, I remember this. I mean, I remember I remember this. This is the race for Maris and Mantle for home runs in a season. And again, that was in 1960. Boy, the early 60s had a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
And they were neck and neck trying to break Babe Ruth's record, which was 60 in a single season. And I guess it was the last game of the regular season, if I remember correctly. Maris hit his 61st, and against the Sox, the Red Sox. Ooh, Red Sox. And that was incredible. It was a great race. And it took, how long till Barry Bonds broke it? Years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but there should be an asterisk next to Barry Bonds' name, too.
I know that. Okay. Okay. Against his, yeah. But I don't know. No asterisk against Maris or Mantle.
Oh, there's an asterisk against Maris.
What's that for? I don't remember.
Because he had 6 more games than Ruth. Or is it 9 more games?
Oh.
They used to play 156.
Okay.
And in 1960 was the first year they went to 162.
Okay.
So he had 8 more games.
He had 8 more games to do it.
Than Ruth. So that's why he has the asterisk.
Well, at least he didn't have an asterisk for something he shouldn't have been doing. Okay. Okay. So there you go. Now again, back to communism and this and that and everything else just following along. Cuban Missile Crisis in 62.
Yeah.
And we did talk about this not all that long ago, recently. And 13-day confrontation with the fear that Russia was sending nukes over to Cuba. And it was it's only 90 miles away from the US. So
sending them. He had them in there.
Well, that's how he got them there, because they sent them.
And this is it. This is the killer. Okay, because Khrushchev, I mean, they really faked out the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because first of all, when they were bringing people in, the soldiers, when they got them ready, in the barracks, they had them pack winter clothes. So if there was a spy, they're going like, okay, they're loading these ships. They've got winter clothes. They're going somewhere near Alaska. So they were looking at that. That was number 1.
Okay.
And then what they said is we are shipping agricultural equipment and specialists to Cuba.
Right.
And guess how they got the soldiers in there? Now get this, 43,000 foreign troops. They had them put on Pendletons when they were getting off the boat.
Okay.
So when they came over with the spy planes, these guys are okay. Russians don't wear Pendletons.
Right.
Americans do back in the 60s.
Right.
Oh, these are just farm workers.
Yeah. Right.
And they were able to put in 36. They believe 36 to 42 MRBMs.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have the long range.
Right. No, it was medium.
Right. They all did the mediums. And so they needed that base.
Yeah.
Because what they did, the final negotiation was, America, we will take those out of Cuba if you take your missiles out of Turkey.
Right.
And that was the compromise that they came up.
That's what ended up happening. Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
Very, very tense moment.
It was. Yep. Now, do you remember them? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go finish.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that was probably the only time my parents had discussed, shall we say, nuclear fusion.
Okay.
During the missile crisis. Other than that, they never talked about that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. You remember the March on Washington?
You know what? I remember seeing it on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it was over 250,000 people there.
Yeah, it was a lot of people there. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember it. I actually had contemplated going down there with some friends, but ended up not doing it. I mean, I was 14 at the time. Yeah. Didn't got to do it, but I was really starting to get into the protest stuff like that for the March on Washington. Yeah. And, anti-war was a little bit later. So,
yeah. But still, I mean, that was very inspirational because at that time, it's the height of the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I mean, some of the stuff, I remember seen a documentary on this one, and it was saying that when Martin Luther King started his speech, it was more of a political speech, very dry and stuff like that. And then there was one woman in the front who was yelling at him saying, "Tell him about the dream." Tell him, apparently she knew him and heard him preach this one. And then he got into his preacher mode.
He got into the I Have a Dream.
That's when he started. And it just, some of the excerpts from that, I mean,
From the I Have a Dream speech?
Yeah.
It's an incredible speech.
Oh, it is. It
Absolutely.
is. It,
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It says, and so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in American dream. I dream that one day the nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yep.
That all men are created equal. And he goes on, and oh, geez, it's just a wonderful, wonderful speech, And then the last, not the last, but right about the middle, he says, after he goes through and he talks about the Red Hills of Georgia, former slave owners will eat at the same table as former slaves, and goes on. But his last, right in the middle, he says, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
it was a very, very, very powerful speech. Very, very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's he was a pretty remarkable man. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And then that same year we had the assassination of
I was going to say that was less than 3 months later.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, where were you when that happened?
I was at school.
Okay.
I remember at school. Okay, I don't remember much about school because I was a wimpy kid and you're getting beat up all the time.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you. But I remember this because he was pronounced dead at 1:00 Central Standard Time, which is about 2 hours before in Pacific Coast time. And I remember a teacher running in, we're in class and we're doing our work, and she runs in and she says, President Kennedy has been assassinated. And, being little kids, you're like, what does this mean? And then you realize what has happened. And it was just, it was very, and the other thing was that it really hadn't sunken in because I had just lost my grandfather. It must have been just a few days before this happened. And, and so around my birthday time, and, we just had my grandfather pass away. And so in our household, it really didn't affect us till January, or December, when they had the cortege, the red burial and everything. That's when it really hit us.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, were you in high school or junior high?
Oh, no, I was in, let me see here. What was it? 63? Oh, geez. I was just getting ready to go to middle school.
Okay. Because I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And I was actually commuting from Manhattan to Brooklyn to go to Stuyvesant High. And I got out of school and I was waiting at the bus stop. The bus pulls up, the door opens, and a person gets out and said, have you guys heard what happened? No, Kennedy was shot and killed. Boom.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was like an immediate, and it hit me. It hit me really hard. Don't know why, but it hit me really, really hard. And I made it home, and we're crowded around the TV set, and just, the nation was in mourning. I mean, in reality,
he was a very popular president.
He was he didn't win by much, but he was a popular president.
Very well. By the time that happened, he was young. Camelot, the press loved him. I mean, they really built him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was a good president, but that was a devastating thing, and I mean, how many times you just look at the footage and everything else, and then of course all the conspiracy theories started happening after that, and maybe someday we'll find out what happened.
Well, you know what? If the government was involved, we would have found out. We would have found out already, and you know why?
because they can't keep a secret.
Exactly. They can't keep a secret to save their life.
Yeah, especially these days. Yeah, really. So yeah, that was really that was a very, very tragic
That was
event.
very,
Yeah,
very
it was.
You know what they'd say? It was the curse of Tippecanoe,
Mm,
the Tecumseh curse.
yeah.
With the curse, this is an urban legend. The curse that says any president elected where it can be divisible by 20 will die in office.
Hmm.
And actually, we had 8 presidents die in office, right? And that were divisible by 20. First of all, it was William Henry Harrison in 1840. He was elected in 1840. He passed away a month into his term.
Right.
But he was the one that defeated Tecumseh in the Battle of Tippecanoe. You remember it was Tippecanoe and Tyler too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. And so he passed away. Abraham Lincoln, elected in 1860.
60. Right.
James A. Garfield, elected in 1880.
Mm-hmm.
Was assassinated. William McKinley, elected in 1900.
Mm-hmm.
William J. Harding, elected in 1920.
Hmm.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, elected in 1940. Remember, he was elected in 1940, passed away just a year or two after that, a few months after that, I should say. And John F. Kennedy in 1960. It is said that Ronald Reagan was the one who broke the curse because he survived the assassin attempt. So he was the one who broke the curse.
Oh, good. So
Urban
now we can find another year. Yeah. Anyway, it's terrible. So
yeah, it was.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that again, we were talking about an event. Originally, we started, and it was a TV show, an event. Here's another thing. It's really not an event, but kind of is. In '64, they came out with G.I. Joe. Do you remember G.I. Joe?
Oh, absolutely.
Boy, I played with G.I. Joe and all his friends. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, had little battles all over the floor, over the carpet, and this or that. And yeah, it was great. I won lots of wars.
This was the big G.I. Joe, the one that was a foot long.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that was an event because that was one of the first time boys could play with dolls.
Yep. And not be thought of as off.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I guess what was it? I guess after the Vietnam War started, didn't they rename it, or they reimagined it? I guess is what they did.
Correct.
To America's Immovable Fighting Man and teams and so on.
You know what? In '64, the interesting thing is, did you read comic books? Were you
comic books? Yeah, Superman, Batman, Veronica. Who was the other? Not
Archie.
Archie. Yeah, Archie. Read those. Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
I read some offbeat stuff.
Well, that sounds like
I know. You're not surprised.
No.
I used to love to read, Sergeant Rock and the Haunted Tank. And they were both World War II.
Yeah. Sergeant Rock, I've heard of. I don't remember the tank.
Well, the funny thing about Sergeant Rock, if you look at Predator, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that looks like his crew.
Oh, okay.
He had the Native American that was a tracker, and he had that guy and one guy had a .50 caliber off a bomber, B-17 bomber with a handle on it, and I'm going I read all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know what happened in 1964 too?
What happened?
The Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Well, yeah, that did happen in '64.
Yeah.
And I remember I actually was over at, which is interesting. I don't know how this happened, but 2 buildings over from where I lived in Manhattan was a cousin, 3rd, 4th cousin somewhere, whose name was Alan Schwartzman. And I remember going over there and watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan there. Don't know why it was at that house. Okay, it was just one of those bizarre things. A third cousin with the same name, and it was interesting. But that boy did that start. Did that start decades of music change?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a big change in music right there.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Right.
that was an event. That's for sure.
That was
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
Well, Vietnam was an event, that's for sure.
Well, and it's really started escalating in '65.
Yes.
And in fact, if I remember being a part of a couple of demonstrations, '65, '66, and along in there in Manhattan.
Yeah.
It was leading up to there. I wasn't going to go, so just that was it. I didn't end up not having to, but I wasn't going to go.
Well, I told you we already had it planned out. We already had it planned out. First of all, my last name. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So we had a bunch of friends, right? I remember, what was it, Arturo, Crow, and stuff like this. So you had recruiters come around.
Oh yeah.
To the high schools.
Yep.
And so this one was the Air Force recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
So we had taken the application for the Air Force. In case our number came up, we had it all filled out because we're going into the Air Force. We ain't going to be a grunt out.
That's what I was contemplating if I was going to do it, to be the Air Force. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'm Mexican with a 4.0 grade point average.
Oof. Okay.
So they want me.
Yeah.
They said oh yeah, we want you. Said I was going to, like I said, I was either going to be in electronics or a mechanic or something to that. Right. Would keep me away from the, but I would serve in the military. Right. But it was not going to be out in the grunt. I wasn't.
Yeah, you were going to be in Gruntland. Yeah, I know.
So they were very interested, but you know what? I was lucky enough. I was only eligible for 2 years. And the second year, the first year, first of all, I was in the 300s. So I knew there was no way they were going to get me. The second year, they only drafted less than, I think, 50,000. I mean, they just basically, the draft was over. And then the year after that, they ended the draft.
Yeah. No, I remember when they instituted the draft, and, I was all scared, and my friends and I, my best friend and I, it's a story I won't tell on air. But my number was 44.
Oh,
so, okay. So I ended up getting out on a 4F, which again, there's a whole story behind it. But so I ended up not going. But that was scary.
Oh, you were not kidding.
Yeah, I remember an anti-war one. It was somewhere down by one of the parks in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, I think. And there's a lot of people, and all of a sudden, a whole bunch of cops just show up, and all of a sudden they get out and they start with their billy sticks and starting people. And boy, did I turn around and beat feet, ran down the first subway entrance I saw, down that subway, down there, okay, up on the other entrance, whatever. Oh man, that was scary.
You were smart.
You can call me a coward. It's okay. I don't care. I wasn't going to get hit by a baton. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. There you go. So yeah, and for the other one that was kind of close to home for me was the 6-Day War.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Boy, I remember that. And boy, did Israel just pummel them.
See, this is what kills me about this whole thing. I don't know why. I don't know why these countries, think now, I mean, like Hamas and all these small little groups. All right. Israel, in its weakest point, beat Egypt, Syria, and Jordan.
I know.
I'm going think about this. 3 major Arab countries went against, so you have them from the south, the north, and the east, and they still couldn't take Israel.
I know. I know. Okay, they Mossad and everybody else there and so on and so forth. They had a lot of good intel, and they of course had a superior military too. Yeah. So and weaponry and so on, and their tactics. So it worked, and it's 60 years later.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like Caesar says, when you have nothing to fight for, okay, you don't fight as hard.
That's true.
Okay? Israel is fighting, for
existence. Yeah.
The other ones are fighting because someone told them to go fight.
Yeah.
We don't want to fight, but you know what? They're telling us to go.
Yeah.
So,
I still, well, No, we'll get off onto political thing. We probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, it's but still going on. I mean, the reality is it's not in the same way it was then. But Israel, they're not going to take anything from anybody. They're just they're going to take care of business.
Yeah. Like I said before, is I remember the first time we had gone into Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in the 90s.
Yeah, Bush one.
George Bush the son.
Right.
And I remember being at a buying show, and they said that they're going in because they have weapons of mass destruction. I said, no, they don't.
Right.
And the guy's going, how can you be so sure? I said, because Israel would have bombed them by now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They did it before. They'll do it again. They don't care what the world thinks. They care about their people.
Mm-hmm.
If some crazed organization is going to get the bomb, they're going to see to it they don't.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is too.
Yeah.
And then getting a little bit later into the decade, there was, of course, the assassination of Martin Luther King in 1968, which that's two major assassinations just in within 5 years of each other.
Yeah.
That there's a whole lot of riots in response after that, and it just
Martin Luther King,
mm-hmm.
In Memphis. Oh, it was just horrible.
Yep.
Horrible. I mean, that was very bad. I mean, you think about that, and then you had just a couple of months later, Robert F. Kennedy.
Yep.
I mean, that guy was a shoo-in to become president.
He was a shoo-in. He was going to be president, and somebody didn't want him to be. Mm-hmm. And I just you could just remember seeing the video. Okay, all the coverage and everything else, and just how it unfolded, and so there,
Again,
I
remember the next day getting the LA Times, and they had, they have the political cartoons, and this one had the skyline of LA, okay, and it had Los Angeles, like you're going into the city, and it had Los Angeles, and they drew a line through it and said Dallas.
Oof.
Yeah, and that'll stick in my mind.
Right.
I remember that because it happened real late at night. I mean, it was like in the morning, very early in the morning when it happened during the primary.
Yeah.
And so
he had just won the primary.
Yeah. So we didn't know about it until the next day.
Right.
So it was bad.
Yeah. Really. And now when you think about it in conspiracy theories, I can see where they come from, because two Kennedys, one as president and one shoo-in, as you said.
Right.
So somebody out there, whether it's in this country or another country, didn't like the Kennedys, didn't want that to happen. They could be connected.
Yeah, either that or they just had very bad security.
Well,
back then anybody could get in there.
Okay, well, you're right. They really didn't. They didn't have magnetometers and X-ray machines and stuff back then that they used.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would have thought that they would have checked all that. Of course, Kennedy was, JFK. He wanted to go riding around, in a bulletproof car and so on and so forth. So, not that he brought it on himself, but he certainly, security, the Secret Service could have
done a better job.
Yeah.
And Robert F. Kennedy's bodyguards should probably be in the front, not behind him.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
The other thing is on the assassination of JFK, because he had a very, very, he was very sick. I mean, because of the injuries that he had during World War II. So he wore a back brace.
He had a horrible back condition.
Yeah, that kept him up. So when the first bullet hit him, it wasn't lethal. If he would have fallen forward, there's a good chance he would have lived.
Right.
But the brace kept him up.
Right.
And that's what and then the next two shots.
And I could just, now I'm conjuring up the image of Jackie, crawling all along the trunk. Yeah. Terrible.
We talked about this one before, because you know what? I don't want to get too melancholy here, and we get tears in my eyes here thinking about what's happened, all of those assassinations.
I know.
And 68 was just,
I know. It was bad.
In 69, we did have the Apollo moon landing. We talked about that before.
Right.
That was an event.
I know it was an event, but hang on, before we do that, we were talking earlier, you brought up the Beatles. Okay, do
Yeah,
you remember the songs that they played on the show?
I know it was one, I Want to Hold Your Hand.
That
I
I
know one.
remember that distinctly, but I remember All My Loving. Okay. Actually, I think I saw her standing there. I remember that. She Loves You. Yeah, I remember all those songs. Yeah,
Mhm,
Until There Was You. I remember
mhm,
those. Yeah.
yeah.
And the crowd, the girls were just going bananas.
I did tell you, Kathy did see the Beatles in Las Vegas, right?
I don't know if you told me that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
she saw
Yeah.
the Beatles in Las
Oh,
Vegas.
lucky. I just, that's the group I would have wish I could
Mhm,
have seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny because she they her and her sister told her father because the tickets were going to go on sale, right?
Hmm.
Early that the one day, and so they were going to get up at 2, I think it's at 2 in the morning to
Hmm.
get down to the ticket place so they can
Hmm.
get good seats,
Okay.
right? And so the father goes, yeah, I'll take you, thinking that they'll never wake up.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, they're dressing, they're shaking him. Come on, let's go. So he's like, yeah. So he takes them down there.
Uh-huh.
They they're like almost at the front of the line. They go up there. The only seats that are left are way in the back
Hmm.
because all the radio stations bought all the good seats.
Ah, okay.
And the other thing was that they happened to be staying at the same hotel as the Beatles.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, and so they were in the back, right? And they had their I think they probably had their limos in the front. So everybody's waiting in the front, but they're having breakfast. So they went out through the back, and that's when the Beatles came
Ah.
out the back, and she took pictures really close at them.
Oh, cool. Nice.
When she goes to have them develop, they come back blank, and I'm going like, really?
Yeah.
I said, somebody stole your pictures. No doubt in my mind. Oh, I'm going to keep these.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just win. Oh, these came out blank. He said, let me
Yeah.
guess. Everything else came out good, but those particular pictures didn't develop.
Gee, I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
what happened. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. No, you're right. That must have happened.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you started to talk about the moon landing and everything else. That was an incredible thing to
Mhm.
watch that and all that, and Neil and Buzz and everybody doing their thing and walking on it. I remember Kennedy was the one that set that in motion. And
Yes, he was.
yeah, like in 9 years or 8 years, whatever that was.
Mhm.
Okay, we put a person on the moon.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing.
It takes us that long now just to get a permit.
Man,
Am I right? Am I
that's
right?
a little exaggeration, but not much. Not much. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, also in '69, and I don't
Mhm.
know why I don't remember this. I should, but the Stonewall riots,
Oh yeah, that was big time.
it was big time, and I just don't understand because it's all about the gay community
Oh
in
yeah.
response to raids at Stonewall Inn, and that really began the whole gay rights movement. I don't
Oh yeah.
remember that.
Mhm.
I don't know what that was about, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, you were there.
I'm telling I lived there in 1969.
Yeah.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, it was in '69, so I was out on Long Island, so that's why I
Oh.
wasn't literally there. I was in Long Island at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was took a year off. I was working before I went back for my bachelor's. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
yeah, but that was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're not kidding. I mean, that was. I mean, that you're right. That started the entire gay movement.
Hmm.
You know.
Yep.
And of course, we'll end it on this one because it's 1969. It's your favorite.
Yeah, that was my
Woodstock.
favorite. It was Woodstock, and I
It
know
was-
we've done a couple specials on it, so we don't have to spend a lot of time. But
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun, great event, and yeah, it's just amazing how it went off. And with basically it was peace, love, and just leave me alone and listen to good
Right.
music.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's raining. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's mud, slip slide.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
it
yeah,
was good.
that symbolized the counterculture movement. I
Right,
mean, that
exactly.
was,
It definitely started it. Yes,
yeah,
definitely started that. It changed the counterculture movement,
right.
free love, and all
Mhm.
those other things that happened. So yeah, it was good.
And starting at 69, that counterculture movement started becoming mainstream.
Absolutely.
You
Yep,
know,
they really kicked it in.
right.
And some of the, I
Today.
mean, Sills Nash, Carlos Santana. Okay, were they really took off after that? Yeah, it was Janis Joplin. She was already
unbelievable. Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
The Who. I mean, you could go on and on.
We're talking about acts. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely an event.
You know what group didn't show up, or they showed up, but they couldn't make it to Woodstock?
Yeah, I do know, but my brain just said I don't know. You're going to tell me, and I'm going to say,
brain freeze.
Huh? Yeah, brain. That's exactly what it is. Brain freeze.
One of my favorite groups, Iron Butterfly.
Oh yeah, Iron Butterfly. That's right. Yeah.
Iron Butterfly. Right. Got to the airport.
Yeah.
Saw the news, and they were, because don't forget, they were like psychedelic, and psychedelic was on the third day.
Right.
And they said there's like 20-mile backup, and they asked the promoters to send in a helicopter.
Yeah.
To come up, and they said, "No, we ain't doing it."
Yeah. And speaking of the promoters, I mean, they were just kids. They were kids like in their 20s that never did anything like this before, and somehow they pulled it off. So
maybe that's why they pulled it off. Because they didn't know no better.
Maybe I don't know no better. Yeah.
Speaking of Iron Butterfly, just real quick, and then we'll end it. Remember the song In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida?
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Yeah, I do.
You know what the original title was?
I used to know this. What?
In the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, okay. In the Garden of Eden. Okay.
Yeah, so that, other than that, that's about it. But you know what, Professor, we're running a little long. What do you say we end this one, buddy?
Well, yeah, I mean, but you could tell the 60s, there was a lot of stuff that happened in the 60s. And I don't know, I guess, maybe we'll get into it a little bit at some point, but, in subsequent decades, I don't remember so much stuff in a decade. So,
well, I agree with you. There was a lot of stuff in other decades.
Right.
But what you're talking about, these events changed society altogether.
Yeah.
Like the Stonewall riots.
Right.
The Woodstock Music Festival.
Civil rights.
Yeah. The assassinations of three prominent political leaders.
Yeah. I know, crazy. So, yep.
Yeah. So it was a lot of stuff going on at that time.
Absolutely.
So, okay, well, what do you say we end this one, buddy?
Okay, we'll end it, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, have a great one.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
We'd like to thank you for listening and remind you, if you happen to have any baby boomer topics you'd like us to cover, just email us at growingupboomer@gmail.com. And until next time, may God bless.